We'll see what, okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to give you guys a minute or two and then we'll get started with the presentation. But thank you for taking the time to join us. All right, I'll go ahead and get started. So welcome, everyone. My name is Maria, and I work for the University of Southern California Viterbi Graduate Office, so for the Viterbi Graduate Admissions. And I'm joined today by two of my colleagues who I work with that are also on our graduate admissions and marketing team, as well as Professor Neff, and she is here from the Communication Data Science program. And so I'm just going to start by giving a brief overview about the Viterbi School of Engineering at USC, and then I'm going to hand it over to Professor Neff to talk more about the specific program. So thank you so much for tuning in from wherever you are in the world. We are so excited about your admission to USC. Congratulations. This is an amazing, thing that you got into USC, not an easy thing to do. And we are very happy to welcome you to the Trojan family and hopefully see you this fall. And so, as you know, USC is located in Los Angeles. Maybe you've had a chance to visit, maybe you live here, or maybe you've never been here and you are curious to learn more about it. So this is just like, a few brief snapshots of what is in LA. Obviously, it's a huge city. It's the second largest city in the United States. And we have a lot going on here in LA. So pretty much everything that you can dream of doing, you can do it here at LA and at USC. And so you can just see on the side of the screen that these are just a few things, like just even in the general area of USC. So even just within 15 miles of campus or a short walk from USC or 50 cents away by bus. There, you can do a lot here. And so it's a really exciting place to study and even just to live in general. And then, as you may or may not already know, LA is a global hub for innovation. So you probably have heard of Silicon Valley, that is located in San Jose near San Francisco up in Northern California. And down here in Southern California, we have Silicon Beach. And maybe you've heard of it, maybe not. But if not, it's basically our version of Silicon Valley. So as you can see, there's a cute little map that shows you, a lot of those big tech companies are located here in Silicon Beach as well, because a lot of these companies, they realize that the weather here is very ideal. A lot of people want this environment near the beach and everything. So they moved, they have like locations here as well, in addition to NorCal and other places in the country. So it's really exciting. And then this is just literally just the most brief snapshot of the companies that are here. This is a huge hub for, any tech and engineering companies as well. There's so much going on, lots of opportunities. And then another thing I'll mention about, studying at USC that I think is really great with all those companies being here is that you can do internships while you're, working on your master's degree. And I think that's really amazing because, you don't have to travel outside of where you're studying to have these experiences because they're all right here. And then it's also helpful to make these connections for when you graduate and you want to ideally get a job, whether it's in LA or outside of LA. A lot of these companies are based in LA, so you can make the connections here, which is really great. So just a few things about USC. Obviously, it's a really big school. There's so much information that we could tell you about it. But just briefly, it obviously, you probably already know when you applied, it's a very highly ranked university. We're in the top 20. So that's, really great, something that we're very proud of. We also have a strong emphasis on cross-disciplinary education. That's something that's really been a buzzword here lately and always. USC has been doing cross-disciplinary education forever, and we are continuing to do more of that. So the nice thing about having the different schools here at USC is that you can even you'll have opportunities to collaborate, and specifically within data science as well. And I'm sure Professor Neff will probably mention more about that. We also have this really big initiative going on campus, which we're super excited about. And it's, over $1 billion being invested into our Frontiers of Computing initiative. And this is going to be really cool because this is, and, we're basically at the forefront of a lot of research related to computing and like ethical ways to use artificial intelligence and things like that. And trying to make this accessible for students from all disciplines. And then we're also building like a really amazing, like brand new computer science building. So you might end up taking some classes in there, and that's opening this summer. So there's a lot going on. There's so much happening at USC at all times, and you never know what else is going to pop up during your time here. We have also, a few stats at the bottom that you might find interesting. For example, we have 96,000 alumni worldwide. We are really proud of our Trojan network. Alums will help each other out. They will also help out current students. They're very responsive. They're very helpful. And, they like to hire each other too, and also just give advice. So if you reach out to alums on LinkedIn, they are usually like very responsive and want to help. And you can make a connection having USC. It's a very well-known university, so it helps a lot for making connections and also, making making job connections in the future and things like that, or even just making friends. We also are very proud of our female to male ratio. Obviously, it would be great if it was 50-50, but it's super high. So this is like one of the highest ratios in the country, from what I've been told. So having 32% female is really good. And hopefully we'll get even more down the line. And then we also have a very high annual research expenditure. Research is huge here. It's a top tier research university. And we have 199 tenure track faculty. And then, as I like briefly mentioned before, we are leaders in computing AI. So these slides will, this slide here, these little blurbs here are telling you more about basically what I just mentioned. All the money and energy that we're pouring into our new computer science building and our computing initiatives, and basically, making sure every student is ethically trained in AI, which is really important because this is a huge part of just the future. And we want you to be completely well versed in these subjects. And then I talked about careers as well. Obviously, a lot of people, you want to come to get your master's because you want to get a great job. And ideally, having your master's will open up more doors for you and more career opportunities. And we want to be a part of that as well. So we actually have a career center that is specifically exclusive for our Viterbi students. And within the Career Connections office, they do a lot of really cool programming. We have multiple job fairs throughout the year. We have a lot of companies coming to recruit our students because they know that USC has a lot of really bright students and who are doing big things, and they want to hire you. And then we also just have other resources like, they can help you find an internship. We have networking events. We have a portal where you can find jobs, whether they're on campus or off. And we have advising, and they can advise you on basically all of the career preparation things like interviewing and resumes and things like that. They also will help international students when it comes to OPT and CPT and those resources, and just even helping you kind of figure out like what you might want to do if you come to USC and you know generally what you want to do, but maybe you need some career advice, then we're definitely here to help you with that as well. And then this is just telling you a little bit more about the Viterbi Career Connections and showing you some examples of the exciting programming that we have going on. We have a lot of big name companies coming through, and even startups and local companies. So whatever your flavor is for like what kind of job opportunity you might be looking at in the future, you know, you never know who you might meet that's coming to recruit our students. And then another thing that we're really proud of is that we have a very diverse student body. And so that's really nice because you just really never know who you're going to be with sitting next to you in class. And I think that makes for a really exciting environment. I love meeting people from different cultures and different backgrounds, or just people who have something different, a different life experience than me. And so I think that's really beautiful. We have students from, I think, close to 100 countries within Viterbi, and we have students from around this country as well. And so you'll meet all different kinds of people and make friends, and it's really great. People are really welcoming here, and you know, everybody's coming for the same program. You know, they're here in the same phase of their life, and so that makes it really fun too. And also, fun fact, USC in general has more grad students than undergrad students, which is very unique for a US based institution. And so I think that makes it an even better place to study for grad school, because you're actually in the majority when it comes to that degree. And so it's not just like, you know, oh, you're going to be like one of the grad students at a primarily undergrad institution. You're going to be here with tons of grad students. And I think that's really cool too, because you'll find a lot of people that you can relate to. And speaking of students, we have an amazing team of student ambassadors. Maybe you might have these or had them at your undergrad institution as well. And so you probably also know that these people are super helpful. They are our students, and they are literally here to help you through any process. You know, whether you want to know about what, like maybe some advice about what courses they liked, or like what professors to take courses with, if you want advice about housing, or maybe how to find roommates, or anything related to, you know, whether it's USC or LA or your program. And then in addition to that, you know, you can maybe find someone from your home country or your hometown, or someone from your major, or just someone who just looks friendly and you can chat with them. And then you'll also meet them on campus if you happen to be coming for any of our events. We also have another really cool program called the Mentorship Program. And this is exactly what it sounds like. So they help the new Viterbi grad students throughout their journey at USC. So as a new student, if you're interested in being a part of this program, you'll be paired with a current Viterbi grad student that would be your mentor. And mostly we try to match people that are in the same academic department and degree level. And then this is a great way to, you know, have a built-in friend and making new friends through the program, expanding your network and making connections. And then maybe the next year you might be a mentor to someone who's just starting. And so it's a really beautiful cycle and a great way to meet people and get involved. And these are literally just a few examples of ways to get involved. We have so many different clubs and organizations. It's crazy. Like, and you can be involved in, you know, they're pretty much all open, as long as it's something that interests you. There's so many opportunities for clubs, or just so many organizations. And we have club fairs at the beginning of the semesters. And so that's also a great opportunity to just see what's out there. So you can get involved in like professional organizations related to your department, like for data science or communication, or you can even just get involved in maybe a club sport or the Viterbi Grad Student Association, or really anything that interests you. Maybe you even join the marching band. So there's so many different things going on. It's so much fun. to be at USC and part of the Trojan community. And we hope that you'll make the most of not only the academics, but about the social side as well. And, going on more about the campus activities. So, I mean, whether you like sports or not, you may be at risk of becoming a sports fan if you come to USC, because sports are huge. Even if you don't like them, it's impossible to not feel the energy of being at a Division I school. And we're joining the Big Ten. That's going to be really exciting. So we're playing a lot of big names, and we have amazing student athletes who've been in the Olympics and things like that. And so like just going to the football games or basketball games or any of the sports is really cool. Or you could even just like run on our track, like next to an Olympian. This is a thing that's an everyday occurrence at USC. And then in addition to the sports, there's so many other fun things going on, even if that's not your thing. We have hackathons, we have wellness events. As I already mentioned, we have student clubs and we have mixers and networking events. There's literally something going on every day. We even have a farmer's market every week. So there's never a dull moment on campus. And then on top of that, you're in LA where there's never a dull moment. There's always something going on. Safety, of course, is a concern that everybody has about any university that you might be going to or any new city that you might be moving to. And we take that very seriously at USC. So our campus is, I feel like the campus is very safe, but you're going to be in a major city, so you always want to be mindful. And because of that, our campus is taking your safety very seriously. So we provide a lot of services for students. There's just to name a few, we have the Trojan Mobile Safety app that immediately connects you to our Department of Public Safety. Our Department of Public Safety also patrols 24 hours a day, 7 days a week around the campus, not just in the campus, but in the University Park area where a lot of our students live. So even though if you're living in off-campus housing, which many of our grad students do, that is patrolled by the University Public Safety. And so you can definitely feel like, you have people who have your back. And then we have a lot of other, basically things to help you feel safe here. Like we have a free Lyft that all students have access to the free Lyft rides. They're, I think, a 2-mile radius of campus. And so anytime if you need to get a ride, also that's free. And then in addition to that, there's free shuttles around the area. And if you ever need an escort, DPS is available to do that for you at any time, even if you're up late studying in the library at 2 a.m. and you need an escort, then that is something that is available to you. So you can definitely, feel like these people are here to help you feel safe. And then about housing, that's a common question that we get. We do have some USC owned housing, and then we work with USC Housing to offer fully furnished housing. And there's a lot of like apartment complexes nearby as well that they exclusively rent to students. And then in addition to that, there's a lot of independently owned houses and apartment buildings that a lot of students rent out together and tends to be more affordable than living on campus. And so it's really up to you what your preference is. The on-campus housing is limited. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely do your research about it now. But living off campus is something that many of our grad students do, especially if you don't have a car, then you might want to live walking distance to campus and you'll be completely surrounded by students everywhere. And those houses tend to be pretty affordable as well. And then if you do have a car, I mean, the world is your oyster, but I would also consider traffic when you're making your decisions. But we have a lot of really by LA standards, affordable neighborhoods that are pretty close to campus, like 10-15 minute drive. And we just named a few here, like Koreatown, West Adams, Mid-City, and Culver City, and parts of downtown LA. So definitely do some research or maybe talk to the student ambassadors. I'm also happy to help if you need any advice about housing. There's a lot of areas that our students tend to gravitate to. And then, so if you have not yet submitted your statement of intent, you can find the information on in your USC portal. And that would also give you like the deadline of when your statement of intent is due. And once you do, then you unlock a lot of amazing features, such as, the pre-orientation resources. So you can learn more about those dates and like what to expect and what you need to do to prepare. You can join the Viterbi mentorship program, which I mentioned a few slides back. You can connect with your department through academic webinars, which you're doing right now, and explore housing options. So definitely, make sure you check the date that's due for you. And if you know you're going to come, then go ahead and whenever you're ready, submit the statement of intent and get excited about the build up until this fall. And then I kind of already went over that stuff. You can check your letter of admission or your USC portal that will tell you when your statement of intent is due. More information about financial documents is here for any international students. If you scan that QR code, you can learn more about Trojan International and the I-20 process, which will be issued to you as well. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and scan that QR code and maybe bookmark that page. But you can also find it on the website as well if you just search for it. So once you deposit, then you can move on to these next steps. And that concludes my part of the presentation. And so I'm going to hand it over to Professor Neff, and she will tell you more specifically about the program that you've been admitted to.
Great. Thank you so much for that great overview. Give me just a moment to share my screen here. Right. Okay, great. And so, I'm not going to cover a ton of content tonight. I would like to give a, welcome and a high-level overview, and then we'll have plenty of time for questions that you all may have as you're making what is arguably one of the most important decisions of your life at this point in time, which is where to go to graduate school. So as Maria mentioned, my name is Jessica Neff. I noticed some familiar names already in the attendee list, so I know I've already communicated with some of you, but I am your program co-director. So as you all know, this is a joint degree that's offered collaboratively by Annenberg and Viterbi. And so you heard a bit about some of the Viterbi resources available to you. I'll talk also about Annenberg resources that are available to you. I think one of the most exciting things about this program is the fact that it spans 2 schools and all of the opportunities that are afforded to you as members of 2 really unique communities at USC. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. But as was said already, but I'll just reiterate, congratulations and welcome. You should, really be proud of yourselves for being admitted to this class. It was a competitive applicant pool. I can say that because I'm one of the people who was reading all of the admissions files. So if you were admitted, it means that you are truly excellent. And we are really excited to hopefully be seeing you here on campus with us in the fall. And so some of the points that Maria made about being at USC, I'll reiterate and kind of highlight a few new ones as well. So you might be thinking right now, why should I come to USC? Why should I pick Viterbi and Annenberg over potentially other graduate programs that I might be looking at? Because many of you I know have applied to a range of different programs. So I'll again reiterate a few of the reasons why I think that USC is such an exciting place to come learn and work. So, not only is USC a top-ranked university, right? So kind of globally, the university is a top university, but specifically the schools that you're coming to, Annenberg and Viterbi, are both ranked within the top 10, right? So you are coming to 2, discipline-specific schools that are really at the cutting edge. And so the research that's being conducted, the faculty that you have access to, the caliber of the students that we attract is really at the top notch. And so that's something that you have to look forward to is, the kind of the exciting faculty and really bright peers that you'll be surrounded by if you join us at USC. As was mentioned, we have an exciting new Frontiers of Computing initiative. So this was recently announced, and there's a lot of exciting events and research happening on campus right now related to this. We also have or what we have conferred the most computing degrees of all West Coast universities in the past 9 years. So I think that is pretty incredible. And we also graduate a lot of women computer science graduates. And so I know it was mentioned before, right, the ratios. I think Viterbi has pretty good ratios of, gender ratios. At Annenberg, we look a little bit different in terms of our composition, but safe to say that you will be in kind of a diverse class set of your peers. And so some pictures here of, what you can expect to see on campus. You've got the Viterbi School of Engineering, one of multiple buildings, the Annenberg School. This is our newest building. Our older building that was built in the 70s will be undergoing a renovation soon. So you'll also have a lot of new facilities available to you. In the bottom right of my screen is the Annenberg Media Center. So we have a full-fledged media desk at Annenberg. We have student newscasts going on. There are people working around the clock in what is a fully functioning media center. So I think that is something that's really exciting about being in a top school for journalism and communication, is having access to a facility like that, which is truly unparalleled. And as was mentioned before, LA is a rich and diverse environment. And so Maria talked a bit about the notion that Silicon Beach is located here, and there are over 500 top tier tech companies, startup companies as well. Also a global hub for media. So for many of you who are coming in the communication data science program, I know a number of you are interested at kind of sitting at the intersection of technology and media. And so if you applied to this program, it was probably for a reason. And one of those reasons is the kind of deep concentration of media companies in LA. And we have those connections. At Annenberg, we have a lot of deep connections to media and technology companies. A lot of our alumni are working at these companies. And so when you are, coming to different career events or speaker events on campus, you'll see some of these top names represented. I'm looking, I actually don't see Sony Pictures here listed on this particular slide, but I received an email from one of our alumni today. He's a data scientist who works at Sony Pictures in their marketing and analytics team. He was sending me a job posting because they're seeking a summer intern, and he immediately thought of our graduate program because of the really unique interdisciplinary curriculum that we offer and the training that our students are receiving. So really those kinds of connections that we have to our alumni, I think, are what make this program and the Trojan Network so particularly unique. And so as you'll see here, LA was recently rated by TechCrunch as one of the top 6 startup ecosystems. So it really is just a vibrant community with a lot of things happening here all the time. In addition to the rich cultural environment and the fact that you can be skiing and on the beach in the same day. If you were really so inclined, you could drive from the mountains and be on the beach in Santa Monica or Venice. So a pretty unique place to be living for those of you who are not already here. So I'll briefly talk about the program. I think most of you are familiar with the curriculum already. There are a few things that I want to highlight, though, when it comes to, if you might be looking ahead to the fall and thinking about, what's my particular program going to look like if I do decide to join you. If you went to one of my previous informational sessions, you probably know that most all of you will be taking the same 2 classes when you join us in the fall. You'll be taking an introductory kind of computing foundations class, DSCI 549, and you'll be taking COM 502. It's kind of an introductory survey theory class that we have at Annenberg. And so DSCI 549, you'll be mixed in with a range of different students from the data science master's programs at Viterbi. And COM 502, that is a class that is specific to our communication data science students. So you really get, it's a seminar class. We cap it at around 22 students. You'll really get to know your classmates, your faculty, and develop that strong cohort effect. And so that's kind of what you have to look forward to in the fall. I will note that some of you may come in with varying degrees of technical foundations, and so on the Viterbi side, sometimes you can waive some of those prereq classes before you come, but you have to do that before you start. So you can't in your second semester say, I took this class in my undergrad and I really don't think that I should have to take 510, for example. you can't do it retroactively. So if you think that you might be eligible to waive one of those classes, then you need to reach out to your academic advisor, right at the start of your time at USC. So for example, for DSCI 510, there's an optional placement test that's offered 3 times, both online and offline. And so if you're someone who thinks that maybe you have those Python foundations and don't need that class, that's something that you're going to want to contact your Viterbi academic advisor about right off the bat so that you can see about taking that placement test. So that's just something I want to flag for you. In terms of, getting registered, I know sometimes if you do sign that letter of intent and you put down your deposit and you decide to move ahead, sometimes I get inquiries from students over the summer saying, what about registration? Am I going to get the classes that I need? And I'll just, I encourage you not to worry. We have a great advising team that you're served by. You have advisors at Annenberg and at Viterbi. So you have program-specific advisors in each school, and they'll really help you every step of the way. So they'll get you those course registrations for your first semester and in subsequent semesters, and will be there to support you for all of those academic kind of procedural types of questions that you may have. And then, of course, you have me as your kind of curricular lead on the Annenberg side for any of those types of questions. But this is what you can expect in terms of that required curriculum. And I highlighted DSCI 517 in red because this is a new requirement. We've implemented it for the first time this year. So I just want to underscore that if you haven't had any statistical foundations, you've never taken an introductory statistics class and gotten those foundational methodologies, this will also be a required class for you. It's research methods and analysis for user studies. So just giving you a heads up on that. May have seen this slide before, but this is kind of the program at a glance. So if you come join us, we're really going to encourage you to take 2 classes a semester. So that is considered full-time at the graduate level at USC, and there's a reason for that. So your curriculum will be rigorous, and you'll also want to save time and space for all of the rich opportunities that are available to you outside of the classroom, be it pursuing research projects with faculty, to joining the chorus. I've had students join the chorus or participate in dance troupes, or do any other range of non-academic activities that we have at USC. So we really encourage you to take your time and make the most out of your program with us. And take that internship in the middle of your 2 years and really kind of get that work experience that'll help prepare you for the job market. So it was mentioned before about all of the great resources that Viterbi Career Services provide. The unique thing about this program is Annenberg does all of that too. So you have Viterbi Career Fairs and Annenberg Career Fairs. You have all of those sort of special networking events that happen at both schools. And so there's really just a lot to take advantage of and a lot of different opportunities. And while we don't offer a guarantee of an internship placement, I can let you know that there are lots of opportunities that get passed through. And many of our students have been able to secure really exciting and competitive internships right here in Los Angeles, because as we've said multiple times now, there's just such a high density of leading companies that are located here. This is a long slide with lots of text on it. What I want to highlight here is that for your electives, we've got a lot of exciting classes for you to choose from. And so we keep adding to this list. Every year it gets longer and longer. Also at Annenberg, every semester we're offering new courses. So we have a lot of faculty on the Annenberg side, not only who are kind of tenured research faculty, but also kind of industry experts. So we have, for instance, marketing executives who will come and teach a class at Annenberg, after working in industry for 25 plus years, and just come to share their expertise with students. So we have a lot of these kind of practitioner type of faculty who also offer elective classes, and those are being updated every semester. So from a class on fashion marketing to, ethics and AI, to a variety of different sorts of things, there are new classes happening all of the time. One class that's not listed here that I'd like to highlight, that's a new one, is an applied quantitative methods class that one of our alumni from Annenberg's PhD program has been teaching. So he's a data scientist at a gaming company, and he works with students on project-based classes that really on a project. It's a project-based class that really spans the two curricula. So again, just lots of really exciting classes to look forward to with pretty phenomenal faculty. And so I'll highlight, we talked a lot about some of the ways to get involved. So there are over 1,000 student organizations at USC. So there really is something for everyone. I'd like to highlight a few that I think might be of particular interest to those of you who are in this virtual room with us this evening. Information Sciences Institute is actually where Dr. Yolanda Gill, the director of all the interdisciplinary data science programs at USC. It's where she spends a lot of her time. She has an appointment there. And there are a lot of exciting research initiatives taking place there. And we've had a number of students go on to work as research assistants on different types of projects there. So if that's something that you are inclined to get involved in, that's an opportunity you can seek out. Annenberg Innovation Lab is doing a lot of exciting thought work and research in the area of new technology and innovation. So another research institute or lab that you can get involved with. The USC Center for AI and Society. So as Maria mentioned, we're doing a lot at USC in the area of kind of trying to understand what the future holds, thinking about, how technology is going to evolve, the ethical implications, the societal implications. And so this is a new center at USC that's bringing a lot of exciting conferences, speakers, and engagement opportunities that I think are really of interest to our students in this particular graduate degree program. Graduates Rising in Data Science at USC, or GRIDS. So this is a student organization based at Viterbi. For data science students, there are a lot of events that they put on, hackathons, guest speakers, a variety of different types of programs. We've had a number of students from the communication data science program involved in that organization. Actually, a couple of years ago, one of our students, she was the president of GRIDS. And so it's another great student organization specifically tailored to our data science student population. The Center for Knowledge-Powered Interdisciplinary Data Science, or CKIDS. This is a research initiative started by Dr. Gill that really, I think, embodies the spirit of what USC is all about, which is interdisciplinary collaboration, right? It's kind of at the core of this degree program. And so every semester, CKIDS, they do a variety of different research initiatives, but one way for students to get involved is through their Data Fest, where faculty from around the university pitch interdisciplinary research project ideas, and students ranging from undergrad to master's to PhD can apply to work on these research projects with faculty. And so every semester there's usually faculty represented from a range of schools, including Annenberg, Viterbi, Dornsife, Keck School of Medicine, and a range of others. So a lot of exciting research opportunities there if that's something you're interested in. And then another research group at Annenberg that has been doing a lot of interesting work is called MASTS, or Media as Social Technical Systems. And so it's another group that is really trying to think about kind of what does the future of technology hold for society, the media, the world that we are embedded in. They have a research group, and they put on a lot of interesting guest speakers. I actually earlier this week heard from a kind of a cutting edge AI researcher named Meredith Broussard from NYU, who gave a research talk, for example. And finally, the Women's Leadership Society at Annenberg, which is kind of a pioneering organization. So if you are someone who's female or identifies as female, this is a leadership society really designed to help promote and train the next generation of female leaders in the media and technology industries. So just another really exciting organization. And this is just some of dozens, right, that are available to you. So really is something for everyone, depending upon what it is that you're excited about and interested in. Finally, I'm always updating this slide with new job placements. I know, probably top of mind, right? You're coming to graduate school because you're thinking about what's the job that is around the corner. And so we've been really pleased with the job placements that our graduates have had, from ending up at small startup companies to big companies that you might recognize like Meta or Deloitte or Cisco. So again, I think the proof is in the pudding, and what we've seen is that there's a real demand from employers for graduates from this program. The skill set that we provide, the training that we provide is truly unique. There's no other graduate program at the master's level that is a joint initiative between a school for communication and a school for engineering. So what you're getting, the curriculum that you have in the communication data science program, is truly unparalleled and one of a kind. And we hope you'll see that when you come join us in the fall. All right. And so I'll just put my email up here. I like to really make myself available to you. So if you want to set up a time to talk to me, if you've got any particular questions about, as you're trying to make this really important decision, I'm happy to set up a one-on-one with you. Also like to put it out there that if we don't have any of our current students joining us here this evening in this webinar, but if you are interested in connecting with a current student and learning a little bit more about the program from a student perspective, also reach out to me and I can make that introduction and provide that opportunity for you to, get that student insight, which is going to be a little bit different than what I can provide to you from a faculty point of view. And so with that, I'm going to stop talking, open it up to any questions that you all may have about the program. And thank you so much for your time and attention this evening.
Thank you so much, Professor Neff. I loved your presentation. I learned a lot too, and that was great. And I actually have a question that popped up that I think is perfect for you and this anonymous attendee, which by the way, for you students who are attending today, if you could possibly put your name rather than anonymous attendee, that would be helpful so then we can address you directly. But anyway, this person is asking, how long has the Comm Data Science program been around?
Oh, great question. So we are 8 years old now. We started in 2016. My first incoming class, I had 5 students when we were brand new. The past few years, we've been averaging an incoming class size of between 50 and 60 students. I anticipate we might be slightly larger this year, but yeah, that's about how big we are. So we've seen a lot of growth over the past 8 years. So thank you.
That's great. Congrats on the growth. And then right now we're totally open in the Q&A. So if anybody has questions, feel free to go ahead and type, and we're super happy to answer them for you. And if you prefer, I can also let you, those of you who are here, oh, it's not letting me put your microphone on, so never mind. But just go ahead and type it in the Q&A. And then we can answer any questions for you. So we'll give you, a couple more minutes in case there are any more questions.
And if something comes to you after we wrap up, again, my email's there, so don't be shy. Please don't hesitate to reach out, if anything comes up after this session. So.
Yes, please do save Professor Neff's email, and I'll put my email in here as well. And so if you have any questions that I can help with, from the graduate admission side, which most of the things that we do are probably done for you right now because you've been admitted, but anything we can help with, definitely don't hesitate to reach out. And especially like one thing that you can definitely reach out to us about is if you are visiting campus, then number one, maybe some of you are coming to, if you are in the US, or if it's easy for you to come to one of our Visit Viterbi events. One of them, the one for data science, is this Friday. So we might see some of you there if you happen to be coming. But if you're not able to make it this Friday, you can come visit anytime during business hours. And so anytime during business hours, or you could, walk around by yourself on the weekend, or if you know people here. But if you're here during the week, literally anytime, including summer, there will be one of us available and we can meet with you. If there's students on campus, I can definitely help set you up with a meeting with one of them and a campus tour as well. And so we have a couple of other questions. Both of these I think are good for Professor Neff, so I'll just go ask you them both. So the first one is from Carla, and Carla is asking, are there opportunities for contributing to research and working with professors?
Yeah, Carla, great question. So I will say those opportunities are definitely there for students who seek them out. So if you are someone who says, you know what, I really want to go work on a faculty research project, many of our faculty are very receptive to that. And so we've had students who've ended up working in faculty research labs just by kind of cold emailing faculty. There are also ways to get involved through research groups on campus. So for instance, DataFest, like I mentioned, is one way to work with faculty. I'll just share one anecdote. One of our tenure track faculty came up to me last year and he said, Jessica, your communication data science students, they're so great. How can I get them involved in my research? And I said, well, come talk at orientation. And so Professor Marlon Twyman from Annenberg came and gave a pitch for student involvement in his research lab, for example. And so I think that's a testament to the fact that many of our faculty really are open to and excited about the possibility of working with students. And some of them are going to be more proactive in reaching out, and some of them, will be receptive to inquiries from you.
Thank you. And the next question is, if the elective courses are required for one from Viterbi and two from CMGT?
Yes. So on the Viterbi side, you have 3 required classes and 1 elective, assuming that you've met that statistics requirement, right? If you don't have the statistics requirement, you're going to have a set curriculum on the Viterbi side. At Annenberg, you have 2 core classes and you have 2 electives. And so generally, yes, the electives you can select from. If you're looking at our schedule of classes, they'll have the CMGT designation. And just make sure that you read closely. There are some of those classes that are restricted to students in different master's programs, but the vast majority of them are open to all students as electives. Mm-hmm.
Perfect, thanks. We don't have any other questions. We'll just wait, one more minute just to see if anything else pops up. And then otherwise we'll just start to wrap up. But, regardless, we definitely both appreciate you taking your time to come to this webinar today. I hope that you learned a lot, and we definitely, hope to see you on campus this fall, and want to congratulate you again on your admission. And, we're really happy that you're considering USC for continuing your education.
Yep. Thank you so much, everyone. We hope to see you in the fall.
And looks like we have one more question under the wire. So let's see. Thank you. This one says, thank you for hosting this wonderful webinar. I have a question regarding the OPT extension. As an international student, I'd like to first confirm if Comm Data Science is eligible. Also, I'm interested in looking for job opportunities or internships while studying at USC. What might be a good place to start?
Yeah, hi Zihao, great question. So yes, we are a STEM designated degree, so you are eligible for the OPT extension. Yes, because this is a Master of Science. And in terms of looking for job opportunities or internships, I would say take advantage of both of our career centers. We also have, I believe Viterbi has as well. At Annenberg, we have kind of a jobs mailing list that you subscribe to, and we push through opportunities that come up. And, I would say meet with a career counselor, get them to fine tune your LinkedIn, get them to help you fine tune your resume, and start looking, for those opportunities. So good question.
All right, thank you. I think that's it. There's nothing else. So thank you all again for attending, and I hope that you have a great evening or morning or wherever you are. Enjoy the rest of your day and fight on.